Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Film and TV channel. Our latest episode, as we have a look at a new series today. It's a series 2, so it's been on before, and the first series got mixed reviews, but I enjoyed it. A little bit of a nostalgia trip to me. But today we're just going to have a look at the very first episode, which features a couple of stories. So we're just going to have a quick, if it's more of the same of what we got in the first series. So, or should I say season, as it's US based. I shouldn't really say series, that's more a UK thing, isn't it? But today we're going to have a look at Creepshow Season 2. Please, if you're new to this channel, you do enjoy, I try and inform and entertain on here. I do information vlogs, I do film reviews, TV drama reviews, horror series reviews like this, stuff like, well, horror, comedy, fantasy, isn't it? It's not exactly horror, but there you go. So please check out the playlist for all my film stuff, and as I say, push that notification button if you're interested in hearing when new things come out. And also, if you look at my playlist, there's some stuff on my football team, Manchester City, as well. So if you're interested in that, or you know somebody might be interested, please point them in my direction. I do city history, city presents, city quizzes, city magazine vlogs, city book clubs, all loads of different stuff. But anyway, if you're not bothered about that, on about film and TV today. And if you're after new followers or friends on Facebook and Twitter, there's a couple of links on screen. I do check every 3 or 4 days and follow everyone back on there, so please do that. And of course, all comments are welcome on Creepshow. If it's a bit of a nostalgia trip for you as well, like it is for me, then just let me know. Or anything about film and TV, it doesn't have to be Creepshow, it can be anything at all. Just leave us your comments. If you've no time to give us a comment, just give us a little thumbs up. That'd be fantastic. Give us a thumb. It's nice to get views, but it's nice to get thumbs ups. Right, yeah, I mean, these sort of anywhere between 44 and 52 minutes in length, these series. Obviously, I think the first series of Creepshow, was it, or season of Creepshow, was it 14 episodes, something like that, or it might have been 12 episodes. Of course, it's a fantasy horror mystery slash a bit of comedy. They don't say that on the blurb, but I think we are now. And it's from Shudder, isn't it? It's a Shudder original. So, yeah, episode 1 aired on the 1st of April 2021. And it contained 2 little stories. The first one was called Model Kid, which is about a 12-year-old monster fan who turns to hand-built model kits to escape from his unhappy reality. His mum's not very well either, sadly. Directed by Greg Nicotero and written by John Esposito from Graveyard Shift, and stars Brock Duncan, Tyner Rushing, Jana Allen and Kevin Dillon. Yeah, he always plays a good rogue, doesn't he? A good baddie, Kevin Dillon. And the second story on this first episode is Public Television of the Dead. The one I did prefer a little bit to the other one, to be honest with you. A number of public access programmes on the verge of being shut down for good, with the appraisal of an antique book breathing new life into the channel in a number of unexpected and deadly ways. Yeah, a bit more on the book later. Directed by Greg Nicotero again, and written by Rob Schrab from Monster House, and stars Ted Raimi, Mark Ashworth, Marissa Hampton and Coley Company. Is it any good? Well, yeah, I mean, the first episode, the first episode of this second series on Internet Movie Database, very positive. They're mainly giving it, there's about 5 reviews and they're all very, very positive, and I think there's 4 reviews of 10 out of 10, which, you know me, I ignore 10 out of 10s, but and also one of 9 out of 10. So it is being well liked, and overall it's got a score of 8.3 out of 10. That's based on 127 scores that have been left. If you look at the season 1, it's probably about 7.1, I think was the average score on season 1. So this one's a little bit, obviously early days, as it's only 1 episode, but obviously well liked by the people out there, by the fans. I mean, there's a lot of fans out there for this, obviously, isn't there? I mean, just my little thoughts on it. Of course, I was a big fan of, when I was growing up in the late 60s and 70s, I was a big fan of the comic book, and obviously Creepshow was one of those comic books. It started in I think it was the 50s, was it? When it first came out. And I did buy the American-based comics, and I loved them just as much as the UK-based ones that I used to have. I mean, if you think of the UK, these names might resonate with you. I used to buy the Victor, Roy of the Rovers, Core, Wizard and Chips, Dandy Beano, of course, stuff like that. But sat alongside it, I'd have things like Superman and Batman and Spider-Man, and of course things like Tales from the Crypt and Creepshow. I did like these sort of things, and I think like this anthology series, and like anything like this, some of the stories appealed to me. Some I thought were a bit weak. So I mean, this is always going to be the problem with things like Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt, and even in film form, etc. You do get a similar vibe to that, but it's never. I was never disappointed. It was just different. It was just obviously it was nice to read. The artwork was fantastic, and I think it's the same with these series, whether it's the old series back in the day, or the film, or whatever. I think that's the thing. I think they look so good that I forgive most things when I watch these. Yeah, I mean the series, like the first, is a bit of a trip back in time to the old TV show as well as the comics. And as you'd expect, it's a bit up and down. Some of the episodes are good and some are not so good. But they're all well, as I said, they're all well put together, whether they're good or bad. And obviously, because they're only, between 22 and 25 minutes long. I mean, even if one isn't great, there's another one coming along, isn't it? It's like the stories in the old comics. You know, you read one, but then there's another story. So even if you weren't impressed with that one, you go on to the next one and have a read of that. And it's exactly the same in this as an anthology. All right, one story might not be fantastic, but hey, there'll be another one along. You know, like buses, there'll be another one along in a minute anyway. So there you go. Yeah, so I think season 2 is also bound to be pretty much up and down. And episode 1 to series 2 is a good start. I think both are set in the 70s, which is nice. The second feature, I think we mentioned an evil book before, didn't we? Of course, is a bit of a homage to Evil Dead, because we've got the old I can't even say it. Necronomicon. There we go. In the second one, and I thought the second story was a bit of a better twist to it, perhaps, than the first one. There's quite a good twist at the end, but yeah, I thought the first episode felt good with the monsters, etc. Frankenstein, Dracula, stuff like that, and the Mummy, Gilman, various versions of monsters. So, but I thought story-wise, the second feature was a little bit better than the first in this, and also, what I liked about the first episode is you've got classic bullies getting the comeuppance, which is always good, isn't it? We always like to see the bullies get sorted out, don't we? Yeah, neither of these two stories really wowed me. I just thought they were a nice nod to watch, and nice, I'd say light. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say I was scared particularly. It was quite graphic, a couple of them. Certainly if you're watching with your kids, obviously perhaps older kids, I wouldn't watch it with younger kids, obviously, but yeah, certainly teenagers would be fine with it. But yeah, there's a couple of elements in it. And there's no, it's just typical horror, that sort of horror where there's no explanation needed. There's monsters, evil exists, and it's just fun as well. As I say, it's not laugh out loud fun, it's just nice to watch and fun to watch. Okay, it's not going to be a series that I'm sort of eagerly waiting for the night it comes on, you know, eagerly waiting for the 8th of April. Oh, I'm going to watch this straight away. But here's the thing, oh yeah, I'll go back and watch a couple of them, you know, that's the sort of thing it'll be. But does style presentation, it's just a nice nostalgic trip for me, and that's what I like about this Creepshow. It's just like going back in time in film form, which is never a bad thing, is it, when you're getting old like me? So it's really good. So my little scores, I say, I'm not going to be anywhere near the 8 because I don't think it's that good. I just think it's a really nice, easy watch. You know, you don't have to think too hard, and it's a bit silly and daft, but hey, so what? And but some good homages. More homages, the better, to old things. You know, and that's what I like about it. I like things where they look back at old things that we remember as kids or whatever, and that's what this does. So yeah, I'm not going to go mad, but I am going to give it a 6.5 out of 10, which is certainly better than watchable in my opinion. As I say, that's just this first episode, and I'm fairly sure the rest of these episodes are going to be a very similar score as far as I'm concerned. And if you're a fan of the first series, I don't see any reason whatsoever that you won't be a fan of the second series. And if you didn't like the first series, I don't think you're going to like the second series. So don't bother. So don't try and watch and then leave a bad review, because you know, if it's not your sort of thing, then you're not going to enjoy it. But I'm sure there's plenty in this that'll keep the fans happy. Anyway, it certainly kept me happy, as I say. A nice trip of nostalgia, nice sort of injection of nostalgia, and it's Certainly for us us older people, it's nice to have that. Yep, so just let me know in the comments what you think about this anyway, and hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we'll meet here again on the Film and TV channel. I have a flit across. Have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel. All I ever ask is please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.